everybody! I hope you're enjoying the day today. It's bright and sunny outside, but I swear to God, there's like no sun in the sky. It's all the bright white snow that's everywhere, and just the daylight that's blinding us all with the white snow. But it's nice. It feels cool and refreshing and clean, even though it's too bitterly cold to really enjoy being outside. But that's just wintertime, right? So I want to take a moment here. I'm going to relax. I'd like to do a channeled message from my higher self, but I'm not sure where I want to go with this yet. I've had a lot of different thoughts on my mind, and I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about those things and then channel a message. So one thing I wanted to tell you guys, it was a really cool thought that popped into my head. It was a really beautiful thought about why every soul on this planet is a gift. And it's really worth reminding ourselves of this, that the world right now, it's going through a huge shift and a huge change, and we're sort of like puking out all the old painful historical energies of our soul history, of the earth history, and we're evolving beyond this from what is like a fear-based reality into a love-based reality. And it's hard on us all in different ways. No matter what country you're living in, you're experiencing the challenges of human life one way or another. And some people feel the burden of it very, very, very like crushing them. And some people feel like they can sing and whistle and skip to their, skippity doo dah, Some people just can. And it doesn't matter what happens in their life, they find a way through the obstacles and they let things roll off of their shoulders. But some people still are struggling to do that. They're struggling with the deeper pains they're carrying inside. They're not sure how to purify the old wounds. They're not sure why they're feeling the way they're feeling. They're not sure how to get motivated and activated to help themselves even. And in the midst of all of this, it's us, it's our planet right now. It's everything that we are going through right now together, not separately, not individually, but together. It often feels like we're going through our own personal experience. And we forget that everybody's going through their own personal experience, and we're not alone. That message keeps coming to me, that we're not alone, and encouraging us to share, encouraging us to start sharing so we can manifest that interconnected grid, that support group that reminds us that we're not alone. But the beautiful part of these thoughts is that every soul on this planet is a gift, because if I, Abby, for instance, had to carry the burden of 8 billion people inside myself on my shoulders, and I had to carry human ascension alone, it would crush me. It would destroy me. We are each carrying a tiny little burden for each other. So the challenges that you are going through in your life, your soul is doing that for me. And the challenges that somebody else who's watching this video is carrying in their life, they're doing that for you, and they are doing that for me too. And now we start to see that there's 8 billion souls carrying a little burden, and we're each carrying a burden so that one soul doesn't have to carry the entire burden all by themselves, but that it could be shared, and that the burden could be carried by each and every one of us, and that human ascension could be a lot easier than we might think it is, because we're not having to carry everybody's burden. One of the biggest things that we need to learn how to do is to continue to let go of our burdens and release our burdens in the light. I have a really hard time with accepting the struggles that other people are going through, because I really want this world to smile. I really want this world to be happy. I really want this world to feel that deep meaning of love that is real inside, and to let themselves just fall into that light, fall into that love, and know that there's nothing else. And to be able to open their eyes to see that they're not alone, and to see that this world is hopeful, and it is open arms, and that it is welcoming of them, and that things are changing, and that we are evolving into a place where we are starting to see and feel and be a part of the love that is truly real here. So I wanted to just mention this awesome reality that I don't have to carry everybody else's burden. And if you're an empathic person, remind yourself, you don't have to carry that soul's burden, because they're here to carry that burden for you. And then learn how to heal themselves in the process, so we can support each other, but we cannot carry each other's burden. But that is the reason why we can love each other that much more, and be there to just promote the love, promote the light, and remind them about laughter, about friendship, about hugs, about music, about dancing, about all these different things that remind us how to be ourselves again, right? So that was one little thing that came to mind. There's a lot of other thoughts that I've been sort of exploring. Another one is, I've been thinking a lot about the difference between, I've been thinking a lot about what is a psychic? What truly is it to be psychic? A lot of people, this is important too, because a lot of people who are in our neck of the woods, we're all in this thing together. We're all interested in spiritual enlightenment. We're all looking for the truth about our souls. We're all looking for why we matter, and we want to feel special. It's just sort of like a kid that wants you to notice their beautiful drawing that they just did, and to receive praise for it. And it's like, even as adults, we want that. We want some attention and somebody to see the value in us. And it gets harder and harder as adults, because you have so much more responsibility and so much more expectation, and there's less room for the golden stars and the reminders of how awesome you are every single day. So you have to keep reminding yourself of that. So it gets harder and harder and harder. But in our neck of the woods, a lot of us want to develop a psychic ability. And I want to just throw it out there for you, okay, to think about this. But what is your idea? What do you think it is like to be psychic? I just want you to contemplate this. What do you actually think inside your heart? What is it like to be psychic? A lot of people feel like to be psychic is to see the future, is to know exactly what is going to happen next, is to look at a person and say, you're going to meet somebody in 6 months, and they're going to be your soulmate, and then you're going to get married and have 2 kids. Like, everybody wants that psychic reading. Everybody wants a psychic reading that tells them exactly what they want to hear, and then they want that to actually come true. But what truly is a psychic reading when it tells you everything you want to hear? Because how often in our lives do we get everything we ever wanted? When you're a kid and it's Christmas time, could you possibly get everything you ever wanted? It's not realistic. And you have to go through Christmas times where you have to accept that, your sister got something that you wanted, and you got something that you weren't exactly wanting. You have to accept that life just doesn't give you everything that you want. So psychic answers, psychic perspective isn't always what you want to hear, so to speak. There's more to this conversation, because there's a difference between a psychic answer and psychic wisdom. And so the wisdom is what helps us develop. Psychic wisdom is what sees you for who you are and encourages you with love to see yourself for who you are, and helps you to grow in a way that is going to manifest abundance for you, because it's going to bring you back into a self-realization that manifests balance and encouragement for you to actually manifest those things that you want in your life. So what is it to be psychic exactly? Is it to see the future? Another thing about seeing the future, I was thinking about this. I was actually in a daydream imagining, if I went to a psychic when I was 12 years old, and they told me my future, and they were accurate about it. They would have told me, well, I see you going through 20 years of severe depression, and no matter how many times you had hope in your life, it was going to crush you, and it was going to be like a 2x4 to the face. And it was going to be so painful that you were going to scream inside of yourself, and you were going to want your life to end every single day, and you were going to wonder why. But in the process of all of this, you're going to develop an extraordinary relationship with the spirit realm, because the spirit realm is the only place that truly helps you feel understood. And it's going to help develop you. But in the process of all of this, you're going to have these experiences on top of everything else. I mean, if my life were to be told to me by a psychic, I would have been freaking mortified. I would have been thinking more so about killing myself based on the reality of my future, more than actually having to live it in the state of hope and constantly trying to overcome this. But if you just tell me the way my life is supposed to be, then I guess there's nothing I can do to change it. So psychic answers can also manifest an illusion of this is how it's going to be, and there's nothing you can do to change it. And that creates a vulnerability. That creates a lot of vulnerability. So I was thinking a lot about what truly, like, I want you to even do this. It's an exercise, okay? I want you to close your eyes and pick out a date and time that you're going to pretend to go visit a psychic who's going to give you a psychic answer about the future, your future. And now imagine if you got that reading, and it's 6 months before that future takes place, or that future is going to be a long stream of time, and it's going to look just like this, and it's going to feel just like this, and you're going to feel like there's no way out. If you actually knew that was going to be your future, how would it make you live your life? How would it inspire you to live your life differently? How would it inspire you to live your life in joy? How would it inspire you to live your life for yourself? How would it inspire you to do many things in the process of living life, right? So I've been thinking a lot about the difference between a psychic answer, psychics that see the future. Is it truly what you want to accomplish? Do you want to be a psychic that sees the future? What type of psychic, if you could be psychic, what type of psychic would you be? A psychic that sees the future, or a psychic that actually helps people find themselves in the process of living their life, to grow out of whatever might be holding them back from true abundance? A psychic that actually connects with their heart and gets to feel what they're feeling and understand what life is like through that soul's eyes. A psychic that actually can experience what it feels like to have lived other lifetimes and actually interact with that experience. A psychic that can close their eyes and then connect with beings on other planets, maybe not see what they look like, maybe not know what the planet look like, but feel the connection inside their hearts, and then be able to share that wisdom, no matter what that wisdom is. In the process of being psychic, I have had really extraordinary experiences, and I've had very devastating ones. I've had very terrifying experiences in the process of being psychic. And I have the pleasure of being a human being that still doesn't know what it all means, because I'm a human being, I'm not an infinite soul. I'm not my higher self. I'm striving to become more and more and more expanded and more aware. If I'm a psychic that simply sees the future, then what am I truly learning about living? What am I truly learning about life? Is that actually a gift? So it's just for you to contemplate. It's just for you to think about. It's something I have been thinking about, actually daydreaming about what that means to me. How would that make me feel? What is it to be a psychic? What type of psychic do I want to be? I'm working on my psychic gifts every single day. I'm very good at what I do. I'm very good at going into people's spiritual atmosphere and getting a feel for what their needs are. I'm very good at getting a feel for what love feels like and what terror feels like, what anxiety feels like. I'm good at exploring the unknown, but I can also be afraid of it too, just like anybody else. Being psychic is also, you have to face your fears, but you also have to know that you have inner strength and you have the ability to stand your ground no matter what comes to you through the power of love. An extraordinary thing that I learned is that we are master teachers in love. We are not students learning about chaos. We are master teachers in love, schooling chaos to remember what love is. I need you to identify yourself as a master teacher in love. And any reflection of fear-based, chaos-based, anything that comes into your life, you're going to see that as what is the preschooler, that you are going to now be the teacher, okay? And you're going to teach that preschooler what love is all about. You're not going to ingest the chaos. You're not going to ingest the fears of somebody else who is afraid. Whether that is in the spirit realm, whether that is with alien beings, or whether that is with human beings, or whatever that is with anything else. That is for them, that is not for you. But you can teach love. Every single time you can teach love, and you can teach love to yourself, right? Because sometimes we are the biggest demons in our lives. We are our biggest enemies. And we are afraid. A lot of us are afraid in ways we don't even know. And this stuff has been growing and building and developing from things that have happened in our past that we actually feel we have moved on from, but they somehow have created what is like a pattern or an old memory that it still is sort of there, and it's still inspiring us to make certain decisions, but we're not choosing to be observant enough to ask the questions, to see it more clearly, and to wonder why, and ask, what can I do about this? What can I do to change? Where is this coming from? What is inspiring this? I am noticing something. Here it is, an invisible package. I'm going to close my eyes. This is the thing. I don't get it, but this is the best I can tell you. It's like a scramble. It's confusing. So heaven, I know you make sense of things. So here's the best I know. It's an invisible package in my hand, and I'm just handing it to heaven. And I'm saying, teach me. And this is how you heal the fears and the odd patterns of your life when you don't know all the answers as a human being, right? I don't have everything figured out. I'm learning about things. I'll be learning about things the rest of my life. And then I'll still be learning things in the next lifetime. I'll be learning things for another trillion years and then some, because I'm an infinite soul. And I will just continue to learn and grow and expand and become more a part of the oneness than I have ever known before, because that's what souls do. And that's what life and reincarnation and the gift of soul discovery, which is self-discovery, which is God discovery, and the expansion of the entire universe and the expansion of other souls, which you're growing and developing soulmate connections all the time, and souls love this. And we are growing together, and we are supporting each other as best we know how, right? But we are supporting each other whether we know it or not, because we are all here carrying the burden for each other. Even if we don't know each other, we are carrying the burden for each other. That is so freaking special. That is why we need to be in reverence of every single person. I know this world is full of stereotypes. People who we perceive they have it all together. They have the perfect life. Celebrity, good looking, has all the money. Or somebody who is a total hillbilly, lives in a trailer court and has no teeth, is just a pest to society. They are souls carrying the burden for all of us and giving us the gift of their life experience and their soul discoveries through that experience. And it doesn't matter what body, what life they choose, they are beautiful souls, learning and growing and developing. And we need to be in reverence of each other and in love of each other. No matter what happens, the world is in balance, and it is all on a perfected timeline that we can't even perceive, we can't even believe it. That it is real. We need to allow that to be the truth inside ourselves, right? So again, you want to be a psychic? Start opening up to your heart, because it's not about knowing what the future holds, because that's not living in the now. That's just what I hope to have happen in the future. And if it looks bad in the future, now I'm going to be afraid of the future. So I hope, I want the future to look like this, or I'm afraid of the future. That's not living in the now. And psychic answers are not helping us live in the now. Psychic wisdom is helping us live in the now and grow in the now, and that whatever surprises take place in the future are what they are. My spirit guides aren't telling me what's going to happen in my future. And whenever I, Abby, try to to make a plan and know what my future is going to look like. I have expectations. It's going to be kind of like this. It never works out for me. It totally doesn't. I can't guess what is going to happen next. It's just constantly like I'm going through like a crazy river rapid, and it takes me from one thing to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing, and I just don't know where I'm going to be next. It's hard to keep up with it all. And so being in the balance with peace and acceptance and just living in the now and not trying to know what the future looks like, but just trying to work on myself each and every day and trying to share that wisdom so other people have tidbits and inspirations to keep them working on themselves too. And now we're growing together, right? We're growing together now. So this is a video. I'm just going to stop here and just share this video as it is. And I may or may not make a video with my higher self now that I made this long video. I didn't know how long it was going to be or how it was all going to come out, but I just wanted to share some of the deep discoveries and the thoughts that I've been having lately. This a human ascension thing is a thing right now. For some reason, I'm just like it's really on my mind a lot, all the different ways that souls are experiencing life, what they are allowing into themselves to heal themselves, or what they are allowing in to destroy themselves. Because really it is the soul's choice. We can be there to inspire awareness, but in the end they have to choose to bring that awareness inside themselves and work on themselves, work on it, or succumb to the ascension symptoms that holds you down and holds you back from true ascension. But they're kind of like labor pains. They're kind of like the process of birthing into a new and enriching love-based reality too. So it's a thing called life, right? And that's just life, right? Anyway, I'm gonna stop here. Thank you everybody for supporting me, for your amazing comments, for all the likes. It makes me feel special, and I really appreciate it. And if anybody would ever like to visit me one-on-one, definitely explore my psychic services page. I have a plethora of options for us to connect and for me to make a difference in your life. So please visit me at my website at abbynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you again and have a wonderful day.